Hi everyone, my name's Caitlin. I'm a holistic nutrition consultant and the author of a blog called grassfedgirl.com. I've been healing my Hashimoto's for over 10 years, and mostly what we talk about on this channel is carnivore meat-based diets for healing. Today we're going to be talking about day 18 of my all beef experiment. I've been on all beef this whole month of March, so all of March I've been on an all beef diet, so all I've been eating is beef and coffee. So stay tuned all the way to the end to hear how much I've lost on day 18 of all beef and coffee, and my other results. I will go over them now. So basically a day of all beef looks like usually ground beef for breakfast. Sometimes I'm not as hungry in the morning and I will eat it a little later, like 10 or 11. I do love to eat steak in the morning more than in the evening, but so if I have a steak, I'll eat that in the first meal, like the big meal in the morning. And then maybe I'll eat ground beef later on. Making my burgers. It's a warm day. I found some organic Teton Waters sausages that I like. They're grass-fed, and I've been eating a lot of those. Sometimes Applegate hot dogs are really good. I find I want more processed meat, and so maybe I've been eating a little bit too much processed meat. My husband buys the boar's head roast beef and pastrami sometimes, so we'll eat that, but it doesn't have a lot of fat. The pastrami is a little bit more fat, so it's really challenging to not eat processed meats. It's also challenging it's hard to get enough fat when you don't eat eggs and butter and all that stuff. So I crave fat a lot, so I have to be careful that I'm not eating too lean of meat, but I'm also not adding a lot of fat, and I think that also helps this be more effective. So say I have some tallow, that would be allowed because it's beef, but I wouldn't add butter or ghee like I maybe would in the past. So this challenge is just beef or the fat that's on the beef or beef tallow, but I'm not adding anything that's not beef. And I am allowing myself coffee, so I'll have decaf coffee in the morning, and that just for my mental health. I can't give up too many things at once. So I love the coffee in the morning, and I will put a little collagen in that, and I have this collagen. Sometimes I put gelatin, I put vanilla, and maybe a little bit of stevia, or I just can't drink black coffee, it's so gross. Or I have this other MCT creamer that has collagen, and it has a little bit of MCT, and that is a lifesaver. So I will allow myself that, but other than that, I love this stuff. It's so good. It's carnivore, except it has a little bit of MCT and stevia, but it's really, really yummy. It stirs right in. I drink my Relight, so I'll put a picture here. My favorite electrolytes, and that has some stevia. So I guess you could say I'm having stevia as well as, because I've tried this before. This is the third time I've done all beef, and without the Relight, I just find I'm not getting enough electrolytes, I'm not getting enough water, and it just makes it so much easier on all beef. It's just too tough for me mentally, and you really have to find a balance. That's what the carnivore diet's all about, finding a balance between your mental health and your aesthetic goals and your physical health. So it's kind of a trifecta. You can't have one without the other and the other. So you have to have all three kind of coming together to be happy. And I also do allow some spices just because I eat a lot with my husband and my mother and my baby, and they maybe want spices on some food, and we're eating it all together. So there would be something we were sharing, then I would eat with them, and there might be spices on it. So I don't really care as much about spices as they do, but I will just eat something that maybe is already prepared, so maybe has some spices on it. So, and I could go stricter, I guess, but that's kind of my definition. And then like I said, I've been eating 3 meals. Usually it's just because out of boredom, because when you want other things, just eating the beef keeps you on track. So maybe I'm not that as hungry, but because I want something else, eating more beef is just keeping me from cheating, let's say. Okay. Like I said, I think maybe I'm having too much processed meats, so maybe that is a problem. Maybe I'm not having as good of results as in the past, but I've always eaten processed meats when I did this, but it's just something to think about, and maybe if I didn't eat the spices, that might help. Like I said, I don't eat it every meal or anything, but there is some spices here and there. My digestion seems a little bit, ever since I started breastfeeding and I had the baby, my digestion is not as great as it was before I had the baby. So it's still a challenge. I have to take a lot of magnesium and Natural Calm. Those two things are in my Amazon shop below. They're really, really helpful if you have slow digestion. I think there's still some hormone imbalances going on from being breastfeeding, and I'm still not sleeping very well. My baby is still breastfeeding up to 4 or 5 times a night, you name it. So we sleep together, so we minimize the getting up by sleeping together. But he is just still wanting to nurse a lot. I think it's just more of a comfort than anything. But he's 18 months, and I just let him nurse because I know it'll be not very long before he's done, and so I just want to soak up all these snuggles before he grows out of it. So we'll probably stop breastfeeding about 2. So I just want to do it until then and let him do as much as he wants. So I think my hormones and my sleep are a little messed up. I think maybe I have too much estrogen, not enough progesterone. So I think that also makes me kind of insulin resistant because, when your sleep is messed up, your cortisol is high, and that makes you store fat, and then you have like a more estrogen dominant thing going on, and then your progesterone doesn't kick in and you don't burn fat as well. So last week I had visitors for 5 days. My aunt was visiting us, and it was go, go, go. We took her around to see lots of sites, and so that was stressful. I think maybe that impacted some of my results. Also, I had my mid-cycle, so that made me kind of bloat up. When you are having your mid-cycle, things can happen with your body, and you can kind of gain a couple pounds when you are ovulating, so that could be a problem. I planned a party for my mother, and it was a surprise party, so it was a lot of stress getting that together, and it was a big success. I surprised her. She didn't know my aunt was coming either. My aunt drove up from Florida, like 12 hours. So all that was a surprise. A lot of my neighbors came and some of her friends from church, and it was a big success. So I was kind of stressed out last week with that. And yeah, like I said, it was a little slower than I would like with the progress, but I am down 6 pounds, so I'm pretty happy with myself for sticking with it. I just got a little lax over Christmas, had a little too many treats, and then we went on vacation in January. Same thing, just too much dairy and just kind of too many bites here and there of things. And so I'm proud of myself, down 6 pounds. Like I said, I'm doing the Relight, having the coffee, but overall it's 99% beef, and I love beef. I love eating this way. It's just hard when you have maybe somebody offering you chicken wings or something tasty. Like it's my whole family, my dad and my husband and my mom, they all love seafood, and so when they're having like a big seafood dinner, it's hard to turn that down. But seafood is not very satisfying, FYI, but I do like it just for variety. So I'm looking forward to having that again. But, I might keep this up because it seems like my body really responds to this all beef thing. And the cravings are just non-existent. So the cravings are really down from when I eat more dairy or more butter and all that kind of stuff. And so that's got to mean something. I'm really able to forget about food for many, many, many hours. And I could eat 2 meals, but I just kind of prefer to graze over the day. So it kind of turns more into 3 meals. But like I said, I'm down 6 pounds. So if this is what is working for me, and I'm never hungry, so I think it's a really big win. If you want to try the carnivore diet, get my ebook. It is 182 pages with 2 meal plans, shopping lists, how to deal with your family, all the FAQs, 42 FAQs. I think it really help you out if you're new to the carnivore diet. I'll put a picture right here. It is so good. I wrote it over, it took me like a year to write it. So it has so much information and 26 recipes. So I hope you will get that if you're thinking about doing the carnivore diet. And all my resources are down below. Thank you so much. Save on Relight with my code GrassFedGirl. All right, well, thanks so much for watching my update. I will do another one at the end of the month. It is day 18, all beef. I just had steaks with my dad. I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye-bye.